Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing, bringing you a general reading for the week of Monday, December 19th through Sunday, December 25th. First off, many thanks to all of you for subscribing to the channel, for commenting, for sharing the videos. I do appreciate it. Again, I'm totally still behind. As many of you know, I do juggle a full-time military career on top of being able to provide readings and healing sessions for you. So, life is very busy. Then when you throw the holidays in the mix, totally behind. But I'm going to be taking about 2.5 weeks off for the holidays. I will get caught up. I will get back to all of you. Please keep your comments coming. I do appreciate, do love reading them. So stay tuned to hear from me. Now, as far as scheduling appointments and healing sessions, I am going to be posting something on my webpage. I am not taking any more appointments. I want to be able to focus on my family, my holidays, enjoying my time with them. I will not be scheduling anyone else. I will reopen the webpage next year in 2017, and I will get you guys all scheduled at that point when I reopen the website in the order in which you book your appointments. For those of you that have paid for sessions, because I did announce that a few weeks ago, and I know some people have missed that message, no worries. I'm going to refund your money, and we'll get you started when I reopen up the webpage to get everyone booked. Because there's so much involved in corresponding and communicating and trying to coordinate appointments. I don't want to focus on any of that during the holidays. I want to enjoy my time with my families, because I'm in mixed blended families. I want all of you to enjoy the time with your families. So we're not going to do any of that for the next few weeks so we can all enjoy our time. We'll get started back again fresh in 2017. So I will be sending those of you your money back. There are a couple of you, just quick apologies, because there are like 3 of you that I have purposefully been holding off because I have some slight potential of squeezing you in this week before I leave on vacation. So those of you in that situation, I will be sending you a message probably tomorrow. I do have a holiday event with my family tomorrow, but I'll be letting you know that, let you know if I can get you in. So thanks to everyone for your patience. Thank you. I tell people all the time I have some of the best clients in the world. So thank you for that. Now let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do something fun. For those of you that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. That is this week. We also have the winter solstice on the 21st of December, which I believe is Wednesday. So that is the longest night and shortest day of the year and the official start to winter. So aren't we lucky, especially those of us here in the northern hemisphere that are enjoying the winter weather already. But in honor of Christmas, the holidays, we're going to do a spread today that's in the shape of a tree. Now, I have prayed over the cards. I have shuffled them and asked that each of you receives at least one message. Again, this is a general reading for a large number of people. So you may find that only one message resonates with you, and that may very well be the case. In which case, the only way to get details specific for you and your situation is to do a private reading with me. Because again, with it being for such a large number of people. And I do, when I pray, I ask that each of you gets at least one message. So make it worth you sitting through this whole reading. But the only way to get more details is to schedule a private reading. But what we are going to do today is I am using my brand new Gilded Tarot deck. I have it in the shape of a tree. They're explaining to me what the different cards mean. Okay. Now I have prayed over and shuffled my Gilded Lenormands as well as my Sabila, so we'll use these as needed for any clarifiers. Now let me see if you guys can even see those. We're running out of daylight. Okay. Outstanding. I may have to lift some of them up. Okay. So let's see here. We're going to work our way from the top to the bottom. What they're saying is the top card, this is the top card, which is the 4 of Cups. And I'll hold them up as we go over them, just so you guys know. Oh, okay. That's like a tree, a Christmas tree. You always have a star at the top, lighting the top. They're saying that this is your shining star. This is your blessing. These are things that you may not be aware of that are important, that are significant, some things that you may need to be aware of. We have energies that are surrounding you at this time. And then this is you. So, okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting off with the top of your Christmas tree, which is, and let me see how high I need to hold this for you guys to see these. Okay. And the first one we have is the Four of Cups. Now, hopefully you guys can see it without a glare. I won't keep standing up and blocking your light. But Four of Cups, you know, this in this card you see that there's this young man. He's sitting against a tree. He has these 3 chalices next to him. He has one that's floating above his head. Now, I think you guys can see that. There you go. But you can see he's ignoring these chalices that are right there. Instead, he's staring up at the sky at this big chalice, almost like the, you know, Holy Grail that's being offered to him. But he's like contemplating it. And it's like, you know, it's almost like contemplating it, like thinking about it, overthinking, could cause him to miss out on an opportunity that he could later at some point regret. Let's see here. Because if you look in this card, you have a squirrel, you have a mouse at the bottom. Let's see. Okay, so what they're saying is, check your glare. You have, so many of you out there, you have this new opportunity. You have this new chalice that has been presented to you. It's a gift because, again, this is the top of your tree. This is your shining star. This is your blessing. So you have this opportunity. For many, it's an opportunity in love. It's a new potential love interest. This is a gift. But for some, you're overthinking, analyzing it, not taking any action, not moving forward on it. Now, for some, they're saying for some, you have, you know, in the past, you've had an opportunity. So you see he's got these chalices from the past. Now, the interesting thing is there's a mouse. Mice, typically, like if you look at the Lenormand cards, the mice card, that talks about, you know, your treasures being stolen, taken from you. So if you look at this card, so for some of you have in the past, so say it's love, say for some of you, you have this new love interest, this new love opportunity that's come in because of past relationships that you've had. And for some of you, maybe you're married to someone, maybe you were engaged with someone, maybe you had a relationship with someone, maybe that person cheated on you, and you feel that love, that relationship that you felt was a blessing, because it was a blessing at the time for you. You feel as though it was stolen from you. Left your cups dry. Left high and dry. They're comparing it to, like, you know, chalice, Holy Grail, cup. You had this person. For some, this opportunity. But I'm getting for most that it's love. So you had this. It brought you so much joy. If you look, there's a squirrel up here. Squirrels represent joy. They're planners, but squirrels love to have fun, and they talk about joy of heart. But you had this person, and you put everything, you know, one cup, one basket, and it didn't work out. And you've had to step away from it. For some, it didn't work out because of a third party, someone that had entered the relationship. And caused it to end. So now you have this new opportunity. And what they're saying is, for those of you in the situation that have this new opportunity that has been presented to you, now for some of you, it's not yet been presented, but for most it has been presented. It is something that will bring tremendous joy to your heart. It will make you happy. For most, it is a love. It is a love opportunity. But you're stuck in your mind. You're stuck in your thoughts. Not reaching out for that cup. And that cup, they keep bringing up the Holy Grail. Like, it is the Holy Grail. It truly is a gift from above. Now, the things that are going on with you right now. The first card that we have, this is the Ace of Swords. And let me see, at what point will you guys be able to actually... Okay, we're going to get told them all up. Outstanding. Let's see what happens when we do a Christmas tree. We have too many cards. You can't see the details. Nicole gets to mess up the spread and layout. We're going to work with it, though. Okay. So, if I can get the glare off that, you have the Ace of Swords. And this is a card that talks about, you know, aces are always, you know, new beginnings. It's for the cards in each suit, it's the first card. Beginnings, kicking things off. Swords are talking about, you know, things in your mind, intellect, your thoughts. The Ace of Swords is talking about, so there's some of you right now that are really, really stuck in your thoughts. And, you know, intellect, thinking things through, it's a good thing. It really is. But it's a double-edged sword. Because the sword, you know, sword can cut on both sides. So although it's good to think things through, at some point, they keep bringing up communication. Oh, okay. You can get caught up in your thoughts. So there can be so much inner thinking, inner turmoil. You see the clouds that are surrounding the sword. Clouds typically refer to confusion, lack of clarity. So if you spend so much time in your thoughts, over analyzing, overthinking, it causes further confusion. I keep bringing up communication. Okay. A couple different things. Some of you are so caught up in your thoughts that you're causing yourselves more confusion with the situation, which is the other side of the sword. It's good that you're thinking the situation through. So say it's a new love interest. You know, you're doing your T-chart, you're thinking things through. But I get that, like for some of you, there's fear and worries surrounding that. So there's over-analysis of the situation, and you're creating problems that are not there. And they're trying to get you to cut through that, to free yourself. If you see there's chains here, to cut through the chains that are binding you. But one of the elements, so with thinking, you know, the other side of that is communications. Because by extension, you know, thoughts communicating with yourself, communicating with others. At some point to take the thoughts to action, to break the chains that have you stuck. So for some of you, it could be you're overwhelmed with these thoughts. You've gotten some information. It's caused further turmoil in your thoughts, your thought process, creating problems that are not there, worries that are not there, things that you don't need to worry about. There's a lot of fear surrounding it. This choice, this decision, this opportunity that you have. And for some, they're saying that, you know, sometimes we'll get information, we'll get some truth about someone, something, a situation. We don't really like it. We don't like the information that we've received. So we don't want to accept the truth ourselves. So communication is communicating to ourselves, accepting things to ourselves, but communication is also communicating externally. So for some, it's a hard time accepting the truth, accepting the information that has come through. Now for some, they're saying this blessing that's come in for you, there needs to be some external communications. For some it's internal, for some it's external. You need to communicate with that person. So for some of you, you have this new love interest. You know, you're sitting there, you're looking at it, you're thinking, okay, do I really move forward with this person or not? Or is he going to just totally rip my heart out, stomp on it like the last person did? So I'm not going to reach out for it. I'm just going to sit here in my lonely, isolated place of fear and doubt and worries instead of giving him a chance and opening up and letting him in, communicating my feelings with him. Because again, for some of you, you have this opportunity of a lifetime, this new love interest that's comes in, and you are not communicating with them. But those communications, getting out of those thoughts that are twirling around in your head, is the very thing that will set you free. They keep bringing up the chains. You have bound yourself. For many of you that are in this situation, you have bound yourself because thoughts, there's a lot of fearful thoughts. So they're encouraging you this week to set yourself free from those fearful thoughts. If there are communications that need to occur, have those communications. Have them with yourself, have them with the other people. For most of you, it's one person. For some of you, you know, they were talking that triangle. There could be other people. Now, the next card that we have, and this is the Nine of Swords. See if you guys can see that. And, you know, in this card, you have a woman. She's sitting in her bed. It's almost as though she was woken very quickly. She's sitting upright in her bed. You can see outside the window there's an owl looking in. Owls represent wisdom. And it's almost like she was startled from her sleep because of a bad dream, of a nightmare. And she has her hands across her chest. She's trying to protect her heart. So for some of you right now, you're having nightmares about things related to, most of you, love. If not love, it's things that are connected to emotions. Maybe you're having nightmares about having to go and visit with your family for 2 weeks. It's okay. It's going to be okay. They're saying it's going to be okay. But no, seriously, they're saying for most of you, this is fear surrounding love, surrounding matters of the heart. For some, it could be, you know, maybe this new opportunity is a business opportunity. Maybe you've been burnt in the past in a business opportunity. You've got this new opportunity. You're contemplating moving forward with it. You're fearful. You'll get hurt. You will lose out again. And you're having nightmares about it. You're not sleeping well. And again, swords are your thoughts. It's your fears and worries. Now, I'm getting for most of you, I'm getting that most of you, it's love related, because they're showing see how the swords are like crisscrossing. I don't know if you guys can see that. See how the swords are crisscrossing over the window? It's almost like you have built a wall, and she's got her arms above her heart. It's almost as though you've built a wall around your heart out of fear of getting hurt again. But the owl is there trying to bring you wisdom, trying to bring you information, trying to free you. And most of you are going to have some success this week. Some of you, now a lot of you, they're saying have already had the epiphanies. They were, you know how they were mentioning some of you have gotten some information that you're not wanting to accept. That it's that truth that's going to set you free. So some of you, you've received that wise information. That's supposed to set your heart free, set you free. But some of you will be receiving that this week. Some of you will be receiving it in your dreams. So, you know, when you're going to sleep at night, ask Archangel Michael to help you remember your dreams. So what you can do is, you know, if you have any process that you do at night. So like for me, you know, I pray at the end of the night, and then maybe what I can do is if I'm contemplating a situation, maybe a situation that's really got me stuck in fear and immobilized in this lonely, cloudy, depressed state, then maybe what I do is at the end of my prayer, I'm like, okay, God, Jesus, angels, I need some information. I need some clarity. I need some wisdom. What's my next step? What should I do? And then I would ask Archangel Michael to help me remember my dreams. Remember the messages that they give me, the clarity that they give me when I wake up so that I can proceed forward with action. Because at some point we have to take action. There's a lot of swords here, and swords are all about, I mean, down here, we've got swords. We've got the swords here. Swords are all about internal thoughts. It's us getting in our own way. And it's it's typically, and in this situation for most, it's thoughts that are fear-based. Fearful of getting hurt again, fearful of being betrayed again, fearful of being deceived again, lied to again, cheated on again. So we clam up and we go inside and we sit by ourselves despite having a blessed gift, but despite having truth laid out to us, clarity laid out to us, we keep ourselves imprisoned. They're trying to break us free from that prison. Now the next card that we have is the Six of Pentacles. Okay, good. You guys can see that. And in the Six of Pentacles, you can see here there's this wealthy man. And he's, pentacles, they represent money. And he's just, he's throwing them out the window. But he's making these like frivolous decisions. He's not really making balanced choices, not making wise choices. Because like the Major Arcana, this is like the opposite of the Lover's card in the Major Arcana, because this being the opposite of that is not making wise, balanced decisions. Because he's just squandering these gifts. He's just throwing them out haphazardly. Now, they're saying that there's some of you out there that have been, now it could be, holiday time. Maybe you're making not the wisest decisions on what you're spending money on during the holidays. Maybe for some of you, it's the angels are trying to say, just think about that. Maybe there's a better, more wise financial choice and decision to show your family members that you love them and care for them without blowing the bank. But what I'm getting for most of you that this is applicable to, it's not about your holiday spending. It's you have a kind heart, you care about others, you try to help others. You've been giving to others, because if you look here, well, let me stand up. Standing up's an issue. I may have had a little accident this week that nearly broke my leg, but we're doing well. Let's see if you guys can see that. Okay. So you see these hands that they're reaching out, but they're not actually grabbing a hold of the pentacles, not grabbing a hold of the coins that he's generously giving. I get that some of you have been very, very generous. Generous in your time, generous in your effort, generous monetarily. And you've been giving and giving and giving to these other people. For some of you, it's a particular person. For some of you, it is multiple people. And you give and you give and you give. But you're giving everything that you have, and it's not being appreciated. You see how those hands are like open? They're like not grabbing a hold of it. So for some, they're saying, for some of you, okay. So say you have this love interest or this business partner, and you just keep giving them money because you're generous, because you're like, oh, okay, well, they need someone else to keep investing in them. Or, I love them, I care about them, I'm gonna keep taking care of them. But they're not appreciating that. And for some, they've just been using you simply for the monetary gain. Because, they were saying earlier, it's about making wise, balanced decisions. The decisions to give this person or these people money is not a wise choice. You're doing it from, you see how his shirt's like pink? They're saying for those of you that are in this situation, it may only be a handful of you, you have been doing it from a place of love. So for most of you, you've been giving money to someone because you love them, you care about them. You may have been giving them money to help take care of their health, take care of their finances, support them, to take care of investing in their business, but you give this to them because you love them, you care for them, but they don't love you and care for you. They're just taking and taking and taking, and they're wanting more because they're saying that the hands open, you cannot give enough. And they have taken so much that for some of you, they've left you bone dry. They've drained your account. And for some of you, that could be part of your fears at night. your worries about finances because you have given all. And for some of you, you've given all in hopes of, okay, I love, her, I love him, I want to have this future with them, I want to build these things with them, I'll keep taking care of them because someday it's going to work out, they're going to be my blessing, they're going to be my shining star on my tree, and we're going to get married and have this amazing family and life and future together. But you've been deceived. That person has not wanted the same thing you wanted. You've been on opposite pages. You've now come to that realization. So for some of you, the communications that you've gotten are about that things are not what they seem to be. Your heart was in it for the right reason. Their heart was not in it for the right reason. And unfortunately for some of you, you have found that out at a point where you have given tremendously in the area of finances. They're saying for some of you, they have nearly, if not completely, drained your bank account. But don't worry, because the angels, they're there to help. But the first step is to stop throwing out money haphazardly. And they're trying to help you with that. And they're congratulating you because for most of you, they're saying that you have shut off the tap, and that's good. That's good. Don't turn it back on. But they're congratulating on you on that because for some of you, it took a while for you to see the truth. I hate to say used, but for a number of you, you have very kind, loving hearts. They keep bringing up your heart was generous and warm and coming from the right place of love, of trying to build stability, build a future. For some, it was unrequited love. That person didn't feel for you what you felt for them, but they did feel a lot of love for the money. They did feel a lot of love for that support that you gave them. But you have now seen that, and it's okay. It's not the end. It's just time to end that so you can move forward and start getting money coming back in. And they're going to help you with that. Now, the next row that we have down here, the first card is, that's interesting. Okay, I have totally shuffled these cards, but I'm going to read these across so that you guys can see. We have an entire row of court cards after having no court cards appear, and we have one major arcana at the bottom. So we have the Page of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Page of Cups. And at the bottom, you are the Magician. So keep that in mind when we get there. See how the Magician's covered with green? So for those of you that are coming out of this money situation, don't worry about finances. God will provide. You don't have to worry about the how. God will provide. Okay. For those of you that have financial concerns, give you some quick tips on manifestation. So we don't have to worry about how God provides for us. All we have to do is ask, let go of the how, and trust that we'll be provided for. For those of you that are in a financial position, and many of us can be with, it's holiday time for most of us, and we're just, spending to give to those that we love. So we could all, at this time, most of us could use some extra money. So let me give you guys some real quick tips about financial abundance, financial manifestation that has worked absolute wonders for me. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys in on a little thing that I do. And it's so funny because I've only shared this with a handful of my clients. So a number of years ago, money was very, very tight. And, and I was doing, and I do recommend you guys do this on new moons. Write down the list of things that you want to manifest. On that list, write down that you want financial abundance. If you need a new job for financial abundance, put that you need a new job. But write financial abundance down. Pray, ask God and the angels to bring that to you and let go and let them do that. But I was at a time where I had a bunch of attorney bills and medical bills and things I needed fixed on my car and all this stuff. And so way more bills than income coming in. And so, I was praying. I'm like, okay, God, I need help. When you have, say you've got $2,000 worth of bills that you have to pay in the next week and you've got $1,000 in your account, it's kind of hard to think of, okay, God, how are you really going to provide for me? And I was guided to get dollar bills, and I like to call them my dollar bill blessings, because I would get dollar bills and I would write on a Post-it note, and I still do it now all the time, but now it's labels because I do a lot more at one time than I did then. But I put on the Post-it note, may your life be filled with love, joy, money, and blessings. And I put a little heart on it and a smiley face. And I put that Post-it note on a dollar bill. And when I first did it, it was at a time when my money was tight, but I trusted, okay, you're telling me to do this for a reason, I will do this, even though I don't really have the extra money. And when I first started out, I did it in increments of like 20 bucks. But even to scrape up the 20 bucks, it wasn't easy. And I really had a hard time. I was praying, I'm like, God, why? Why, when my money's so tight, are you having me give what little bit of money I have to other people? And I hear Jesus and the angels talk to me. And Jesus said, trust, child. Just do it in trust. I'm like, okay, I will take my little bit of 20 extra dollars that I can scrape up and put these dollar bill blessing notes on them. And I went to the store, and I've got this half price books near my house, and I love it. And I would just tuck these dollar bills in books and CDs. And then when I walk out of the store, I would say a prayer, thank you, God, for blessing me financially so that I can bless the lives of others. I ask that you bless my life 20 times the amount of money that I just used to bless people so I can continue to bless others. And that was like turning on a faucet, because I started doing that and God started raining money down on me. And I now do it in increments of $200, $300 at a time. So it's very powerful. You can try that. Another thing that you can try is when there's a new moon, take a dollar bill, get a Sharpie, think about the amount of money that you need, write that across the dollar bill with the Sharpie, and make sure it's on a new moon, and just pray. First time I did it, I put $20,000 across the dollar bill, and I said, God, I've got attorney bills, medical bills, I got to get my car fixed, I've got all these things, and I'd like to take a vacation to just go and relax and de-stress. So if you could bring me $20,000, I would appreciate it. And I wrote that across the dollar bill, and I tucked it away, and I forgot about it. And less than 6 months later, I got about $26,000. Totally unexpected. Never planned it. It just dropped in my lap. So I did it again. Next time I did it for $30,000. I got about $37,000 about 3-4 months later. And now I have an astronomically high amount on a dollar bill because wanting to open a spiritual outdoors retreat resort center where people can come for a day. They can come for a reading, some yoga. They can come to go kayaking, hiking, whatever they want to do. Top of the line little resort center. So it's a pretty high amount, but I believe I'm going to be getting that in February. So those of you with the money stuff, start praying, start asking. Don't worry about how. Let God. God will take care of you. So for those of you that don't worry about money, sorry, I wasted a couple minutes of your time. Next card we have is Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands, it's interesting because when you look at this, and again, pages, do we actually? No, we have the Ace of Swords up there. Okay. So, when you look at the Page of Wands, he's sitting there, he's holding his wand. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay. But, he's carrying the wand. He's like cautious. He's kind of very rigid and stiff and upright. Because he's got a look of confidence. So he's not nervous. He's not anxious. He doesn't lack confidence, but he's trying to be very, very careful. He's trying to do things right. He's prepared. He's ready. He's confident. He's been waiting for this moment. He has this new opportunity that he's ready to embark upon. So many of you have this new opportunity, this blessing. It's presented itself. You're ready. You're ready to move forward. You're confident. But for some of you, and if we were to do a traditional tarot spread of 3 cards, the cards would be past, present, future. Past is always to the left, future is always to the right. You notice in this card, he's looking toward the past. So he has this new opportunity to take him into the future. But because of things that have happened in the past, he's fearful. And for some, it's almost like fearful of messing up again, fearful of taking a misstep, like his foot's on a crack, step on a crack, break your back. But he doesn't have anything to be fearful and worried about. But that fear is keeping him from turning in the other direction and moving toward that new opportunity. Now, the next card we have is the Queen of Swords. And, in the Queen of Swords, I don't know if you I know you guys keep getting a glare. Hopefully I'm able to angle it so you don't have the glare. So in here you have this queen, and she's holding this sword. Now the interesting thing, you'll notice that there's light reflecting in 3 different points here. You've got this ball of light here, the one on the sword, and the one on the head. And it's really talking about how, you know, the light that's up here, it's the truth. You know, Jesus talked about being the way, the truth, the light, heavenly truth. But that's the truth. Then you have this light beam here on her sword, and that's, you know, that's representing actions, and this light is talking about her thoughts. So it's really talking about her connecting truth, thoughts, and actions. But the thing is, for some of you, so typically this card would mean someone that has, you know, connected those 3 things, which is, you know, very logical, very orderly, very organized, but lacking emotion, lacking care, lacking warmth, lacking the heart, which is what really matters. So for some of you, you have someone or had someone in your life that was cold. That was cold-hearted, that was very logical. They could get things done, very effective, but cold. For some of you, they're saying, okay, so for some of you, you had a woman, a wife, an ex-wife, a lover. Now for some of you, it could be a man, but they're saying woman initially, and representative in the card, it's a woman, but it could be either. But you had this person that you loved very much. They hurt you, they cut you to the core. They were not warm, they were not emotional. Now for some of you, they were cruel and mean-hearted. They purposefully would say things. You know, swords are, you know, not only our thoughts, but communications. You know, like our words can cut like a sword. She was very mean, very cruel. She would say cruel-hearted, mean things. Cut you to a bone, cut you to the core. Now, for some of you, the interesting thing is, you know, see this light up here that talks about the truth, and then we have this sword. They're saying, like, the sword's in front of the truth. They're saying for some of you, you had someone in your life, still have someone in your life, that purposefully kept you from getting to the truth. So for some of you, they would say things to you to mislead you, to deceive you, to keep you from discovering the truth. Because the truth is what sets you free. And she didn't want you to be free. She didn't want you to be happy. She didn't want you to be free. She wanted to keep you stuck. So for some, this person, she would use her words. For some, use her actions to keep you stuck, to keep you from the truth, to keep you from moving forward. She's looking toward the past. So for some of you, this is someone that's no longer in your life. But it could be, you know, say this is an ex-spouse or an ex-lover. It could be that's the person that's keeping you from moving forward with someone that you're meant to be with, because you're fearful of having those activities occur again with someone new. Now they're saying for most of you, say you had this person who was cold and heartless, who cut you to the bone. You've let them go. You've divorced them. Don't allow yourself to divorce yourself from your own emotions, your own heart, in effort to protect yourself from someone new. Because for some of you, you have this gift, this love of a lifetime that they're trying to bring you, this blessing. Again, it's your shining star, it's your blessing. They're trying to bring you that. Don't allow yourself to be cut off from it because of something from the past. Next card we have is the Page of Swords. See if we can get this speeding up a little bit for you guys. So the Page of Swords, you see that he's standing here. He's a young man. He has the posture that he's very confident and he's proud but if you look at his face, he looks a little apprehensive. He looks nervous. He looks a little bit worried. Now, he's got everything that it takes. He's ready for the challenge. He's got this big sword he's ready to wield. It's interesting. It's up. They're saying it's an upturn. Like it's got the handles there. They're saying things are looking up. He's moving forward. He's not facing the future, but he's looking in that direction. He's ready to move toward the future. He has everything that he needs. He's ready to face that challenge. Swords, he's thought it through. He's contemplated it. He's thought about what he wants. He's thought about his actions. He's logically considered everything, but he's stuck in fear. Now, you know how earlier they were talking about overthinking, overanalyzing, and how it gets you stuck? You'll be like paralyzed in fear. That's what this card's talking about. So he's this page. He's ready. He's ready to start his new beginning. He has everything that it takes. Look at him. He's cloaked in purple. He's cloaked in royalty. His stockings, cloaked in royalty and love. He's got a sunrise behind him. He's ready. He's faced his shadows. He's thought through a plan. He's very logical. He's logically thought through a plan of how to do it and how exactly it would work and how to proceed forward. But he's fearful. And he's paralyzed because of that fear. And for some, they're saying that you had just overanalyzed this way too much. That you have to take a step forward. You have to turn to your future and take the step forward. The last card that we have is Page of Cups. Now, the interesting thing is, so when you look at this card, you see this page, and he's sitting there, and he's got this massive goblet, which kind of makes me think of the Holy Grail. See, it's all huge. It's got this, it's illuminated, and it's on the floor. Let's see if I can get it. Possibly. Okay. Well, apparently the Holy Grail means something, because that's when we dropped it. Holy Grail, Holy Grail, Holy Grail, this major blessing from above. So he's got this blessing from above. And he's holding it kind of, carelessly. He's just kind of holding it, because if you look, he's like, hold on a second, let me put this down. If you look, he is kind of like looking to the future, not really caring about this big illuminated chalice that he's holding, this massive goblet that he has in his hands, almost like indifference. Indifference. Lack of emotion. Some would say it's almost like, superiority or indifference. But it's because it's something emotional. Cups are about emotions. Typically, the Page of Cups, this is a card that talks about, getting a message, getting some information pertaining to love, romance, commitment, union, marriage. So for most of you, you've recently received some communication, some information, some truth, some clarity about love. For some, it could be this new person that's come into your life, this blessing, this Holy Grail. But for everyone, it stirred some emotions in you. Because, emotions aren't easy. And that's, his look is because a discomfort of dealing with the emotions. He's not comfortable feeling his emotions. Because if you look, the illumination's right above his heart center. So, they're saying for most of you in this situation, you have this love interest. You've gotten some communications. You've gotten some information. This has stirred something in your heart. It has stirred up emotions that, for many of you, you were surprised. You've been thrown off by these emotions that were stirred up by someone. And for some of you, you're fearful of it because of things that have happened in the past with other people who've hurt you. So you're fearful of moving forward. But it's very emotional. And it's stirring these things. And if you see, he's like facing the future. He's looking forward, and he's starting to take that step. they're encouraging him to take the step. Because he's taking a step further. They're saying that's they're saying take that step. That is the direction you're supposed to be going. Open up to those emotions. Open up your heart. It's interesting. It's interesting that I have to clear my throat. Communications. So some of you have to communicate someone. Some of you, either you're leaving someone that you have to communicate with, or you're moving forward with someone that you have to communicate with. But you have got to open up and communicate with them. Now, the interesting thing, I was going to say before because the clouds, they keep bringing up many of you that are in this situation, you're isolated, you've been thinking, you're stuck in fear, you're stuck in worry, you're thinking through a plan. You have to start, they're encouraging you to start moving forward, taking action, communicating with the person you're leaving, with the person you're moving toward. Communication will set you free. It will give you the clarity. It will remove these clouds. The interesting thing I was going to say, if you look at this, is all dark and dreary with clouds. They're both facing the past. The past is a dark place. Lacking love, lacking warmth, lacking prosperity, the things that you desire. The future that they're trying to guide you toward, you have a sunrise. You have this golden chalice. You have growth, ivy growing. So they're encouraging you and they're trying to help you this week with that new beginning. And the good news is I think you're going to be successful, because the bottom card that we have of your Christmas tree is the Magician. And the Magician it's a major arcana. The Magician, he's powerful. And hopefully you guys can see that. He's very powerful. He's able to control the wands, the swords, the cups, the pentacles. He's able to control all of them. He's a magician. He's a magic maker. He creates things. He fully understands the laws of cause and effect, of actions and consequences. He knows the importance of our choices. He knows the importance of taking action. He also knows the importance of our free will. And that again comes to making those choices, stepping forward. But he can create whatever he desires. He has the power. All of you have the power, and this is a very powerful week for you to begin to embark on new beginnings. You have everything. When we were talking about these pages, how they have everything that they need for that new beginning? You are royalty. They're trying to move you forward to becoming that king, that queen. But it all comes and begins with you stepping into your power as the Magician. And you can do that this week. And if you're able to do that this week, you will be able to manifest and you will be able to embark on that new beginning. Okay. We're going to pull some clarifiers real quick. These. Okay. These. Okay. So we'll start off. We'll pull 3 Sibilas for the 4 of Cups. We'll pull 1 clarifier for each of these, because I think those are pretty clear. They might have something extra for them. And then we'll pull 3 Lenormands as well for the Magician. So okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is about love. For most of you, this is about love. So your star, your blessing that you have, remember that gift from God that has been ushered in for you? It's about a reunion. It's love. The overarching energy card at the bottom of the deck is the reunion. And the cards that we have for it, see, that's why I hate with the cards. They all shift everywhere and mess up. Okay, there we go. Okay, typically these are past, present, future. They're saying that they're all current. So the 3 cards that you have the precious gift, the gemstones. You've received this gift from the heavens. You're contemplating it. You have the Il Pensiero. It's the man in contemplation. He's thinking For some of you, you're overthinking. It's time to make some action, pick up the quill, do something. For some of you, so they're saying communicate, picking up the quill, communicating. But he's stuck in his thoughts. He's immobilized. Immobilized in fear. Here he's sitting by himself against the tree. Meanwhile, his love, who they're trying to reunite him with, bring him to union with, she's waiting. It's the speranza. Waiting, hopeful, longing. She's, okay. So what they're saying. So she's sitting. It is a precious gift. It's a precious gift. But notice the room is like, no one's in there. No one's in the room. No one's in the room. Because he's busy thinking, because fearful of the past. He's still looking toward the past. Fear of getting hurt again. She's looking toward the future and longing and waiting for him to get out of his thoughts. Now the interesting thing, let's see what's on the bottom of it. They were just telling me the interesting thing is at some point something has to happen. Because you can't have a man sitting still and a woman longing. At some point they're saying that they will step in. And on the bottom of the deck we have the Wheel of Fortune, which talks about things that are fated, which is the overall energy. Now, quick one card clarifier for the Ace of Swords. We have the Heart. So for those of you that are stuck in your mind, thinking, overanalyzing, it's about love. You're trying to make a decision about moving forward with someone. Nine of Swords. What is it that you're having the sky? Okay. Nine of Swords. She's waking up. She's having nightmares. For those of you that are out there that you're having these nightmares, you're fearful of something happening. It's the scythe. Being cut to the bones. Hurt. You're fearful of moving forward with someone. You're fearful of moving forward with the opportunity because you're fearful of getting hurt again. Because for some of you, you've been completely cut to the core. You're fearful that that will happen again. And that's what's keeping you up at night. Now, for those of you in the money situation, that's interesting. So this is the card. So this is Lenormand. This is 26. This is the book. And the book talks about, it's the book of knowledge, the book of secrets. It talks about things that are hidden, things that are not known, things that people have to know, things that people need to know. Now, the interesting thing is, okay, some of you, how they were saying that, you keep giving. For those of you that are giving from the right place, from your heart, you think that it's going to be requited love. It's going to result in something. It's going to reap rewards. But you're just being used. You're just being drained. You're going to be getting some communication, some truth about that. Because the people who have been gladly receiving from you are purposefully hiding from you their intentions so that you'll continue to bless them, help them, assist them, give them money, give them time, give them effort. You're going to be discovering the truth behind their intentions. Some of you have recently discovered the truth behind their intentions. And they're trying to help you move past that, which is why they wanted to go into all those financial ways that you can manifest financial abundance. Because you are going to bounce back. You are going to bounce back. When we have something end, it's only because we're going to come into something better. Now, for some of you, there's a third. Okay. So for some of you, you know how you're having these nightmares about moving forward with someone, fears of getting hurt again. Some of you are stuck in your thoughts. Okay. So for some of you, you've been giving monetarily to someone. For some of you, it may be you're supporting another woman, supporting a child. Maybe you've got a love child. Maybe you're supporting an ex. Maybe you have made frivolous financial decisions and you've just lost everything. And you have this new love interest. Because the overarching is love. It's this love of a lifetime. It's this person that, fated love that you're meant to be with. You're fearful that when they find out that you've been giving everything you have to someone else, or that you have given everything to someone else, you're fearful that they won't accept you, that they won't love you, that they will turn you away. So you have kept that a secret. You've kept the fact that you've had these interactions with this other person. Or for some of you, maybe you've kept it hidden that you have a child, you have a love child that you're supporting. But you've kept that a secret. But you have to share that secret and share that information to move forward. And it's not going to be what you think it will be. Because if it's meant to be love, and for those of you that are in this situation, hopefully it's a small number of you, if you are in that situation, say you have someone, maybe you have an ex that you just really loved. You kept thinking that, oh, this is going to work out. This is going to work out. If I just keep, helping him out financially or investing in his business, or I keep taking care of her, someday we're going to get together and this is going to work out. And you finally realize, okay, no, he's just been using me. Meanwhile, you do have a person that it will work out with, that you're meant to be with. And now you've realized that you've gotten this communication information, but you're like, oh my gosh, what if I tell them that I'm dirt poor now? And I'm dirt poor because this person I've been trying for years, wasting my money, never getting anything in return. They're just going to walk away. Let go of those fears. Because they're saying it's unconditional love. For those of you that are truly in this situation where it is a gift from God, because if you look this Holy Grail, this chalice from above, it is a gift from God. It is a blessed relationship. So for some, it's a very strong soulmate. For some, it could be a twin flame. This is an unconditional divine love. They will accept you and love you. And then you'll watch your money spiral back up quickly. But don't allow that fear to block you. Page of Wands. You have the Ship. So, the Page of Wands was talking about, okay, you're ready to move forward. You've got everything that it takes, but it's just simply changing your perception and turning, because you're trying to be very careful. As you listen to my belly grumble, they're saying that it's time for your ship to move forward. Okay. Interesting. So for some of you, you've invested in this other person. You've invested in the past. You've been hurt. You've been betrayed. You put all your eggs. You thought that, okay, I'm going to put everything in this. This is where my ship's going. Your ship sank. You're fearful of putting everything into this new future, this new opportunity, this new person. But it's not. Your ship's not going to sink. It's a bright future. That's the direction they're trying to get you to head into. Yeah, okay. Queen of Swords is the fox. And the fox, the fox is deceitful. The fox is devious. Huge red flag. The fox is sneaky. The fox lies. The fox deceives. The fox does ill toward others. The fox will lead people astray, purposefully hurt them, deceive them, lie to them, trick them. Now the fox is, charmer. The fox from a distance or on paper looks real good, but it's all a facade. So for some of you, this woman who was the Queen of Swords that hurt you, she looked real good. You wanted to build a future and a home and a foundation with her. But she was deceiving and lying to you and trying to essentially take everything that you have and leave you with nothing. But for most of you, they're saying that you have discovered this. You have come to this truth. You have come to this realization. For those of you that haven't, you will come to that realization soon. And it will be so clear and obvious that you can cut free of her, of him, and move forward. And for those of you that have come to that realization, so maybe it was someone you were taking care of them financially. They're saying no children involved. Okay, so no children involved. You're taking care of this person financially. You find out she's lying to you, she's deceiving, she's trying to use you for money. But you still feel bad because maybe there's health issues. Maybe you've made a promise to their family. Maybe there are contracts with properties. And you don't, they're saying that you don't want to leave them stuck. It's like your green light to go ahead and move forward. A green light to let you owe them nothing, is what they're saying. You owe them nothing. Page of Swords, the coffin. You can see that. You know, now coffins, you know, when you look at the coffin, obviously you think death, but it's transition, painful time of transition, an ending. So for some of you, you have had a painful ending with someone. So overarching is love. So you had this love that you thought was amazing, love of a lifetime. Oh, you put all your eggs in one basket. You thought that was going to work out. It didn't work out. You had to let that person go. It was painful. You now have someone new. You have a future potential. Yeah, most of you have met the person that you're going to be with. A few of you have not. But all of you in the situation have had a painful past with someone. That is completely over. That is done. And they're trying to transition you, move you forward. They're trying to get you out of that space. That's done, that's over. Now, for all, it is a time of transition. It's a time of letting that go, closing that chapter, closing those karmic ties. Because again, fate, it was a lesson. That person was a lesson. That experience was a lesson. Time to move forward. Last clarifier that we have for the Page of Cups, Ally, is anchor. And anchor, you know, it talks about stability, security, long-term things, things that pay off, things that reap rewards, reap benefits. So for those of you that are Page of Cups, you've got this big holy grail. You've got this blessing. Open up your heart. Open your heart to that person. Open your heart to that opportunity. Take that step forward. That is where your security lies. That is where your future is. And the Magician. Wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I know there's been some ugly up there, but that is beautiful. So the first card that we have is dog. And the dog represents, you know, loyalty, friendship, companionship, protection, trust, reliance, you know, someone that you can rely on, someone who's always going to be there, someone that you can trust, someone who loves you unconditionally, a companion of a lifetime that will always be there. Now, the next card that we have is lilies. And lilies are, you know, it's a card of peace and rebirth and new beginnings and wisdom. It's a card about long-term relationships, because if you look, you have lilies growing, but you also have lilies that are in the stained glass in the back, you know, which speaks of eternal love, eternal commitment, contentment, satisfaction, passion, and yet purity. And they're also a symbol of, you know, motherhood, and they're very symbolic of sexuality. Now, the interesting, okay, we're gonna come back to the interesting thing with that, because the last card that we have is the tree. And, you know, the tree is the card that talks about, you know, foundations. Let's see if you guys can see that. Maybe. Tree is a card of, you know, foundations, stability, growth, longevity, your future, your family. For some, family tree, blessings, strong roots, eternal foundations. When it comes to the Lenormands are very, you know, they play off of what is the card next to that card. So you're the Magician. You have this opportunity. You have this person. For some of you, you're contemplating, do I move forward with this person? For those of you that are contemplating, do I move forward with this person? You hold the power to make the decisions and take the actions necessary to move forward. There's a couple different things they're talking about. Okay. So that person is very faithful. They're loyal. They can be trusted. There's a very strong sexual connection with that person. For some, you may even wonder why this sexual connection is so strong, so overwhelmingly so. And if it is a twin flame connection, anybody in a twin flame connection knows that there's some extreme sexuality with that. It's just you can say it's one of the blessings that comes along with it. But that person is your future and your stability. So for those of you that have someone that you're contemplating, you're fearful because you're fearful of getting hurt, being betrayed, being used, being deceived. Again, you need not worry, because the person that you're contemplating and you're considering a future with is very faithful, loyal. They love you unconditionally. They will be, they're the key to giving birth to your future. And that's beautiful. So for those of you in this situation, oh my gosh, give me your feedback. I want to hear from you guys in the next month or so to hear how things turn out. I do wish you the very best. For those of you that are celebrating Christmas, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. I do wish everyone an amazing week filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings. And you have some tremendous blessings coming your way. So that's something to be thankful for. Have a great one.